Well, welcome, Facebook viewers. This is our weekly Bond and Botus Law Offices Facebook Live, and we appreciate you joining us today. We have been doing these episodes since COVID started up just to uh, keep people in the loop. We want you to know what's going on. We realize a lot of people are tied to their homes, tied to their offices, aren't able to get out and about. And we're trying to just provide important information right now. We know a lot of people are facing challenges. At the Bond and Botus Law Offices, we've been helping people with financial challenges for over 30 years. We represent people throughout Alabama, throughout Mississippi, and in the Knoxville area in Tennessee. So today, I have my good friend and law partner, Carla Handy. Carla is an attorney for our offices in Gadsden, Alabama, in Hampton, Alabama. But she's more than that. She has a whole lot of bankruptcy experience. She provides a lot of great information, not only to clients, but the rest of the attorneys assigned those with state higher experience. So, Carla, welcome to our Facebook Live this week.
Thank you, Brad Botus. I appreciate it. I'm just a little nervous, so y'all bear with me. It's kind of my first time doing this, but I'm glad to be doing it with you, friend.
Well, welcome to the show. No need to be nervous. We're with our other friends here on Facebook. So, Carla, I know you well, but for our viewers, why don't you tell us just a little bit about your background and your experience?
Well, sure. I grew up here in Gadsden, Alabama. Went to Auburn University for my undergrad degree. The Millers were longtime Auburn folks and grew up in that area. Got my undergrad from there. Went to the University of Alabama for my law degree. And I practiced for a couple, 3 years in Tuscaloosa before I came back home to Gadsden. And when I did, I joined a firm whose primary partner did not want to do bankruptcy work. I suspect you know why, Brad, but nevertheless, that was my baptism of fire. I got all the bankruptcy cases and had to teach myself how to do it. Thankfully, here in the Eastern Division, I have a wonderful Chapter 13 trustee, Linda Gore, who taught me a lot about how to be a good consumer bankruptcy attorney. So I counted up, and I have been practicing law now for 30 years. And doing bankruptcy work for 27 of that. So real pleased to be a part of the Bond and Botus family, which I have been since the end of 2011. Have served on the State Bar Bankruptcy and Commercial Law Section Committee. That was a very lovely treat that I really enjoyed and got to meet a lot of good practitioners, bankruptcy practitioners in the state of Alabama. Made a lot of good friends, including my Bond and Botus family. So that's just a little bit about me.
Well, and I need to add one thing. You're being a little bit shy, but you actually served as president of the bankruptcy section of the Alabama Bar Association, and we are very proud of you for having done that. I want people out there to know that Carl is a tremendous resource if you have questions concerning bankruptcy or need assistance. And especially if you're in the Gadsden, Alabama, Addison, Alabama, really any part of that part of the state of Alabama. And to remind our viewers, the Bond and Botus losses right now, with COVID, we're offering absolutely free initial consultations with them from the comfort and safety of your own home or office. We'll do them by phone. We'll do them by video. We'll meet with you however you feel safe right now. But it's important if you're having financial problems, and a lot of people are right now. You know, Carl, have lost jobs, people have had businesses shut down. Reach out, be proactive, take advantage of these free consultations with an experienced attorney. We'll just talk through things with you and kind of help you get pointed in the right direction. Don't wait till it's too late. Carla, I invited you to join us today to address a particular group of clients that we have helped over the years, but it seems like even more recently, and those are older folks.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes retirees, sometimes people that should be retired, having to keep working to pay their bills. For a lot of us, it's parents, loved ones, older people we know that are having financial challenges. We've always represented these people, but it seems to me like we're seeing it even more recently. Do you agree with that?
Oh, I most certainly do. I think a lot of it is clearly a function of, there's not very many more pensions in America these days. A lot of them seem to be surviving on after they retire, Social Security, maybe, help from their children, and having to work, really not able to retire. So I totally agree that we see more of these clients now than ever before.
Well, you and I have talked about it, and I know these people really impact and affect you, and that's why I asked you to join me with this today. So we have some questions that have already come in really before we started today, just following our promotions with the event.
Great.
And I want to go through these with you, Carl, and let's talk about them kind of one at a time.
Okay.
Some of the reasons elderly people, older people fall into debt. Do you agree with me that certainly one of them is healthcare costs?
Oh, no, there's no question. That's the largest driver. I would even go further to say most likely prescription drug costs. Because they don't have as much coverage potentially for their prescription drugs as maybe they do their medical care. A lot of that tends to go on credit cards. We have a lot of our older clients, retired clients who have worked hard all their lives to pay off a house, for instance. I see this on a regular, consistent basis, and it always breaks my heart, but they've worked hard to pay their home off. And they have, unfortunately, they just don't have enough money monthly coming in to meet the outgo. And so they use their credit cards to put their medications on, buy their groceries sometimes. And then when those credit cards get, balances get too much to handle, they turn to a bankruptcy attorney. And sometimes it's hard because now we have a paid off home that if we take it into the bankruptcy arena, we could run the risk of losing the home for the client. And that's never something, as good consumer bankruptcy attorneys that we want to have happen or that we're going to let happen. But there are ways around that. There are different chapters of the bankruptcy code that we can utilize to make sure that doesn't happen. We can often use Chapter 13 where we pay debt back over time to ensure that we don't lose the home. But yes, I think medical costs is one of the primary reasons that we see these folks coming into us.
And Carly, you made an excellent point. A lot of times when these people first come to see us or some third party were to look at their bankruptcy petition, they see credit card debt, and that credit card debt doesn't tell the full story. People may assume, well, they went out and ran up their credit cards. That breaks your heart. People say, I had to use my credit card to pay for this prescription my doctor wrote because my health insurance carrier wouldn't pay for it. Medicare,
exactly.
The deductible was so high. So they're using that credit card just to stay alive, really, to pay those medical bills. It is very sad, but it's a reality we have to deal with. Another area you mentioned, and it's changed from when we were younger. Many of our parents, older people, had pensions to help support them after they retired. That's not really the case anymore, is it?
It is not. In fact, if you're really either not retired from the federal government or perhaps the state government, there are few pensions these days. Gadsden was a really good example of that. We had the steel plant and Goodyear. for years and years and years. And, the steel plant shut its doors back in the late 90s. The pensions there went from, being able to, take care of folks in their golden years to basically nothing. I
Right.
see some of those pensions come through now, and they might be $100 a month, which is really so sad based on how long those folks, gave to that company. And of course, now Goodyear has shut its doors here in Gadsden, so we're not going to have those retirement benefits as well any longer.
Carly, I'll just anecdotally, I'll never forget an experience that had really a profound impact on me as a younger bankruptcy attorney. Gentleman came to see me, an older gentleman. Of course, I look back, he wasn't much older than I am now at that point, but he was an older gentleman. He had done everything right. He had worked most of his life for one of the large factories here in Birmingham, take care of his children, take care of his wife, paid for his home, and the company went out of business, and that pension he had been relying upon all those years went away completely. And this poor gentleman in his late 60s had taken a job pumping gas. And yes, folks, at that point, that gas stations weren't all self-serve. He actually had somebody that worked at the gas station to pump gas, and while there, on the job, he had a heart attack.
Oh,
And
goodness.
was rushed to the hospital. The hospital saved his life, but by the time he got to me, they'd sued him, taken his judgment, and were trying to garnish his wages for that medical care. And he was a proud man, and again, he'd done everything right. Thankfully, we were able to help him through the bankruptcy process, get him a fresh start, and get him on that point.
Well, one of the things, Brad, I think I like to try to make sure that folks know, because you just referenced it, is, bankruptcy is not necessarily where folks want to find themselves at all. But I try to encourage them to think about it like as a tool. Congress has created this law as a tool to help folks at certain points in their life. It does not take away from all the years where they faithfully paid their bills. It's not going to take away from all the years in the future they're going to faithfully pay their bills. But they may be going through something like this gentleman who lost his pension and then ended up stressing himself out enough to have a heart attack. It's there for that moment, for that specific situation, to try to give us a fresh start and let us get back up on our feet again, so we can join back and be good, productive members of society. And I would like for folks to remember that when they are thinking about bankruptcy. I know that there's a lot of concerns on their hearts about it. It's not something to do lightly. But if you find a good consumer bankruptcy attorney, they will help you through the process to understand the tool that it really is. There's no shame in it.
Carla, those are great points and something you said, concerns upon their heart. And I know you meant it from a pride perspective, but it has an impact upon the heart in other ways. Just as this gentleman I referenced, people are under a lot of stress and anxiety when they come to see us because they can't pay their bills. Collectors are calling, they're nervous, and that is especially bad for older people. Folks need to know that there are solutions. We can help in most cases. Don't deal with that anxiety. And if you have a loved one that's older, parent perhaps, that's dealing with financial pressure, get them somebody that can help. That stress is not good for their health. This next question kind of has to do with advantage intention, and it's the fact that many seniors are living on a fixed income. Unfortunately, it's only Social Security in many instances, but would you agree that often is why people get into financial problems, Carla?
Oh, you mean from the fixed income?
Sure.
Yes, absolutely. There are oftentimes, and this is not necessarily just with our seniors, but a lot of them, people that are literally surviving on less than $800 a month fixed income. It truly is eye-opening and extraordinary to me that folks can and do make it work, but it can be as low as that, and that's not going to cover a whole lot. They oftentimes find that they may have to go and borrow money, if an emergency pops up, because there is no safety net with that type of income. And then when they do, they oftentimes turn to, local loan companies that, while I know they have their place, are pretty predatory towards these folks. And once they get in that situation, they can't get out. The business model is intended for them to not get out. So they stay in what I usually refer to as the washing machine, as long as they do, and to your point, Brad, it just creates mounting anxiety on them every month to come up with that. So, also, they've usually paid those loans for quite some time before they come to me to need help. And I always try to encourage them to say, you probably really have gotten very close to paying back all of the principal that you borrowed originally from these folks. So
exactly right.
Try not to feel bad about that. It's the interest that is, really what's driving that balance and why you can't get it down. So that's another thing I try to use to point out to them to make them feel a bit better about it.
And you're one partner I normally don't have to correct on this. Predatory can be kind of one of these legally used words. What you mean is they're high interest loans.
Yes.
There's a lot of costs. And unfortunately, a lot of times older folks, when they go to borrow money, they've got an emergency, and they really just ask, well, what's my monthly payment going to be? They don't look at the interest rates. And again, for those of you out there that have parents, loved ones, older folks that may be having financial problems, these high interest loans are killers, because the minimum payment will go on and on and on and on and make very little dent in the full balance of the loan or the principal. And that's what you mean when you talk about the washing machine.
Yes.
Making that minimum payment forever. It's a sad situation, but again, with the options we have under the bankruptcy code, we can help with those higher interest type loans, can't we?
We most certainly can. It is. We have a couple of great little vehicles in the bankruptcy code, that chapters that will do folks a lot of good.
Yeah. The other thing I see tied into this next question, and it's really sad, and that is older people come in and they have either student loans or personal loans that really aren't for themselves, but they're for their children or grandchildren. You see that fairly often in your practice, Carla?
I see it so often, and it is really heartbreaking, and it requires me as a consumer bankruptcy attorney to really try to shoulder being the bad guy in the situation and let them know I appreciate, and I know your family appreciated the fact that you were able to help them during this time, but we have to now draw that line. You don't have the ability to continue doing that, and we need to, clean things up. And, most families are very accepting of that. They appreciate what they've got up to that point, and they know that they need their senior family member to have some peace of mind about it. But yes, if I had a nickel for every client that I have seen that has gotten into difficulty with trying to help their children or their grandchildren, I probably could retire now.
It's a sad situation. We know that they tried to help out of love, but what I will tell people when they come to see me is, what's most important is that you are there physically and emotionally for your children and grandchildren. Absolutely. And if you don't address these issues, then the stress could really create bigger problems for you. So, come on in, folks. Let us help with these type of situations. If you have a loved one that's gotten in trouble trying to take care of their family or their children, grandchildren, let us see what we can do to help. Again, schedule that free initial consultation. We'll just talk through the situation with you and make sure you know what your options are. Carla, the amount of debt that people have, they come in and often with medical bills, they'll have significant amounts of medical debt. Could be $100,000, $150,000, and we sometimes put these people into a reorganization type bankruptcy. For most individuals, you and I know it's a Chapter 13 bankruptcy. And people say, well, how will I ever pay off all of this debt through a reorganization bankruptcy? They're not necessarily paying off all of the debt, are they, if they do that?
Right. That's why Chapter 13 can be such a good tool for us. We have to comply with the rules of the bankruptcy code, and where we are required to pay back to unsecured creditors, which medical bills would fall into that category, then we must do so to be able to obtain an approved plan. But there are often times that you and I both have filed Chapter 13 cases where we're literally paying zero to the unsecured creditors, medical bills, credit cards, signature loans with banks, and that is approved because it complies with the bankruptcy code. It depends on each person's specific circumstances, but you can bind all of your creditors in a Chapter 13, and some of those types of creditors must be paid, like secured loans. But we may be able to bind the unsecured creditors without necessarily having to pay back anything. And that is a huge benefit of Chapter 13.
I want our viewers to understand what exactly we're talking about here. So there are basically two different types of bankruptcy. There's a straight bankruptcy or Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and usually you're wiping out a good bit of your debt. You're getting a fresh start immediately. But in certain situations, you can't do that. As Carla said, it may be because you've paid your home off or because you have a certain type of debt. There are rules within the bankruptcy code that say we have to restructure your debt. But that doesn't mean you're paying everything in full. Very often, you'll be paying for a car, maybe a mortgage payment you're behind on, paying those items in full, but then all the medical bills and all the credit cards, the unsecured debt, are getting just pennies on the dollar, if anything. A good consumer bankruptcy attorney with experience and with a good working relationship with the court and with the Chapter 13 trustee can help formulate a plan such as that. So it's important, again, to reach out for help and get advice and understand exactly what your options are. Oh, I want to touch on this next question. When is it time to explore bankruptcy as an option? So, if somebody asks you, my father or my grandfather is really dealing with debt issues, when's the best time for them to reach out to you for help?
I think the baseline is when the anxiety reaches a point that it has become bothersome. You should at least consider, getting the initial consultation, which is free, and we can line things out and give you an idea of exactly what the process is and what it might look like in your particular set of circumstances. So I would say initially anxiety levels, but then we do reach some benchmarks that mean, we really need to start looking. And for me, one of those is when a lawsuit gets filed. There are ramifications to a judgment coming out of a collection lawsuit that's been filed against somebody that if we can avoid getting to the judgment stage, in my opinion, I like to try to get the bankruptcy done before we get to that stage. I don't know so much that with our seniors or retirees, a garnishment is troublesome as it is if somebody is still working and they might get a wage garnishment. But remember that garnishments can also be placed on bank accounts. And so that's another reason for our senior community where we really want to avoid that happening if at all possible. So I've always kind of said, if you're considering it and you want to get the information and look at it and give it some thought, do so. But when a collection lawsuit gets filed, the rubber may have met the road and we may need to be acting on that.
Makes great sense, Carla. One of the other problems we see, folks, that predatory loans you mentioned, which are high interest loans that the monthly payment just does really nothing with the balance, and we often see older folks get into those type of situations. Have you had much experience in your practice, people, with folks that come in that have reverse mortgages and have gotten into trouble with those?
Sure, I've seen
Across the spectrum, and a reverse mortgage can be a good thing, but there are a lot of issues associated with it that you need to educate yourself clearly on before you enter into it. I have one of my best friends' mother has a reverse mortgage on her home. She has sufficient income coming in during the month to meet the rest of her needs. And one of the reasons is because they were able to pull the money out of their home through their equity buildup in the home and put that into some savings and some retirement planning. But there are a lot of people that aren't that lucky, but they have paid their home off. Sometimes with a reverse mortgage, it's possible that you might be able to avoid bankruptcy if the debt's manageable enough with the money that's able to be pulled out of the reverse mortgage. So just for those who don't know, and there are some of my clients that come in and are not aware of what a reverse mortgage is, but when you build up, or excuse me, let me say it this way, when you pay down the balance of the mortgage that may have been on your home, you're building equity in that property. And equity is just the difference between what the property is valued at and what you owe on it. So if you got $100,000 house and you've paid your mortgage off, then you've got $100,000 worth of equity in that property that you might be able to pull out with what's called a reverse mortgage. The reverse mortgage does not have a payment associated with it monthly like a regular mortgage does. Instead, it is due upon some factors occurring in your life. Either you're passing away, or if you're not able to remain in your home, or if you fail to keep your homeowners or property insurance paid. Those are some triggers that can call the loan, the entire amount that you pulled out of the house, due. But the whole point is to not have that regular monthly payment to free things up with your income so that you can meet your other expenses. I like reverse mortgages where they will work, but I always want someone to go into it being aware that there can be some issues that they want to look through. I filed some cases where we had a reverse mortgage and we needed to do some catching up of homeowners insurance or property taxes that had gotten behind, and to keep the bank from foreclosing on that reverse mortgage. So Chapter 13 is a good tool for that sometimes.
And a point that I want to make, and you just touched upon it here, but you and I are bankruptcy attorneys. We make a living by filing for bankruptcies for people, and it's counterproductive. But the first thing we do when somebody comes into one of our offices is we try to figure out how we can avoid bankruptcy. I want people to know, if you send your parents to see us, if you send a grandparent, a loved one, or if you come in to see us, our first objective is to keep you out of bankruptcy. We're going to explore all your options, and if a reverse mortgage looks like it would be a good option for you, we'll help you explore that. There are sometimes other solutions, but if bankruptcy is the best course of action for you, we'll also make sure that you're treated fairly, that you get good counsel all the way through it, and that you obtain the fresh start that you need. We want to help you get out from under the anxiety. We want to help you get out from the stress. Just to take a quick break here, this is the Bond and Botus Law Office's Facebook Live. We do these every Wednesday at 1 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. We want to help you with financial problems. The Bond and Botus Law Offices are located across Alabama, or throughout Mississippi, and we're in the Knoxville area in Tennessee. If you or a loved one, someone you know, is having financial problems, and a lot of people are right now, people have lost jobs, unemployment benefits have run out, businesses have shut down. Money problems cause stress, they cause anxiety, they can cause family problems, they can cause marital problems. Reach out for help now. Our offices are all offering absolutely free initial consultations. We'll do them from the comfort of your home, from the comfort of your office. We want you to be safe. We want you to feel good. We'll do it over the phone. We'll do it by video. But talk to somebody. Get out from under that anxiety. Know what your options are. The worst thing you can do is just continue to kick the problem down the road. Reach out and get help now. You can do so by calling our toll-free number, which is on the screen in front of you. Our call center representatives are standing by, and they will talk you through the situation and help you schedule an appointment with one of our attorneys at the office that's most convenient for you. Or if you're not ready to make a phone call, go to our website. Gather some more information. All of our videos, our former Facebook Live videos, are there on our website, and they're on our firm's Facebook page. Gather some more information, and then if you're ready to schedule a consultation, we have a form right there on our website that you can complete. Click the submit button, and we'll contact you to schedule a consultation. Today, I have my friend and law partner, Carla Handy, with us. Carla Handy manages our offices in Anniston and Gadsden, Alabama, and we're talking about financial problems that older people face right now. Carla, last week we had a great episode. We had a representative from Orange Theory Fitness, Donna Franklin Ellis, who is a personal trainer, fitness guru, joined us, and we talked to people about how to stay fit during COVID. It was a fascinating episode. And again, for our viewers, that episode and all of our former episodes are available on our Facebook page and on our website. If you know somebody that could benefit from what Carla has shared with us and will share with us today, please refer them back to this video. I think this information is great, Carla, and I appreciate it. All right, Carla, a few more questions. I know mom and dad are having some financial problems, Carla. What's the best way to talk to them about it?
Hey, ma'am.
Oh, I just lost my partner there for a second. I think she's having some technical problems. So I'm going to address this question to you. If your mom or dad is having financial problems, and if you know they're having financial problems, I think the best way to broach it with them is, Mom, Dad, you helped me so many ways for so many years. I want to help you right now. I want to help you get to somebody to talk to about the money problems you're having and exactly what we can do. Dad, this isn't the time to be prideful. This is a time to take care of yourself, take care of Mom. I want you around, Dad. I don't want these issues with bills and the stress caused by finances to get to you. I want to be able to address them with you. Approach it in that way. Carla, you're back with us, and the question was, how do I approach this issue with Mom or Dad? Do you have any suggestions in addition to what I've said?
I'm sorry, Brad, ask that one more time.
All right, I think we're having some technical problems, folks. Can you hear me all right now, Carla?
I can, yes. It's a little bit breaking up. That's why I'm having a little bit of trouble following.
Carla, How do I find out if mom and dad are having financial problems? Do you have any suggestions there?
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding you, Brad. Sorry. Let me see if I can pull my phone a little closer.
All right. I apologize to our viewers that we're again having some technical problems. Let's see if I can. Can you hear me all right now, Carla? All right, folks. I apologize for the technical problems. What we will do is we will make sure to put on our Facebook page some additional information. Both Carla and I will chime in and post some information that I think will be helpful to our viewers, or if you have a loved one that may need some assistance, please go to our Facebook page, go to our website, bondandbotus.com. It's on the screen before you, or just give us a call. Schedule a free initial consultation, and we will be glad to talk you through the situation. This episode has ended just a little bit shortly. Carla, I don't know if you can hear me right now. It looks like you may not be able to, but I'm going to get you back because you do a great job. Appreciate your input today. Reach out to help, folks. If you need help, we can provide it to you. If you think your parents, your grandparents may need help, please encourage them to reach out and call us and talk about their situation, or just encourage them to go to our website. There's plenty of information available. We're offering absolutely free initial consultations, and we will do so for the indefinite future from the safety of your home or your office. Just go to our website, give us a call, and know that we're here to help you. We care about you, folks. That's why we do this work. Carla and I are having technical difficulties, but one of the things we talked about is how this work is really somewhat of a ministry to us, because I know people are hurting when they come to see us. Not being able to pay your bills, having a loved one that can't pay their bills, it's tough. And it's not worth causing problems within a family. It's not caused the stress that a loved one may be going through. Reach out to somebody that you can trust for help. It doesn't cost you anything. Do it before things get too bad. Do it now. We're available. Call us, go to our website, and come back next week. We'll be doing next week is the day before Thanksgiving, so we won't have our regular Facebook Live. We may have something special, but then in 2 weeks, we'll be back with another great guest, and we'll talk more about a topic that I'm sure will be of much interest to you. We'll promote it here on our Facebook page. Please reach out if we can do anything. But until that time, on behalf of Carla Handy, on behalf of myself, and on behalf of all of us at the Bond and Botus Law Offices, God bless you, good luck, and we're here if you need us. Thank you, folks.